You got this one right here, which, guys, this is one that we need to talk about that I'm super interested in. Luke Cage Hero for Hire #1 in a CGC 9.8. Now, why is this notable? Why am I talking about this one? The last time Hero for Hire 1 in a CGC 9.8 went up for sale, where there's only 12 9.8s on the census, 102,000. 6 figures. 102,000. September of 2022. Right now, this book is only sitting at 10,000. Do we think that this book is going to gain another $90,000 in 4 days, 2 hours, 49 minutes, and 30 seconds? I don't know, but man, you know what I mean? Like, this one is really interesting to watch, in my opinion. It's so rare, only 12 at the 9.8 level, but is someone going to pay 102,000 again? I mean, prior to that in 2016, 24,000 was the record sale. And then prior to that in 2014, it was 7,000. That's a big jump going up to 102. It's a really big jump. And I don't know. I don't know if this book is going to be that much. But currently at 10,000, a long way to go for this one. We'll have to see. That Luke Cage is one of the toughest picture frame covers to get in 9.8. Yeah, all black cover. I mean, it's similar to Marvel Spotlight 5, right? You know, there's only 12 on the census for this one. Similar to Marvel Spotlight 5. I think there's what? There's only 4 9.8s. And then that Marvel Spotlight 5 went for $250. I think Hero for Hire is going to undersell by $30K, placing it in the $60 to $70K range. You might be right. That 102 sale feels like a fluke. It definitely could be. But this is one that I thought was really interesting. Un-Bobby Blue collection related. That was a big one. You know what I mean? That was a big one. This one's going to be tough. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that. And I did want to do maybe some streams during the auction. We can kind of cover this and then maybe do a recap one. And if we do a recap one, I think this one will be interesting to talk about. It feels like, again, when you're at that level, there's only 12 copies. If this book sells for, 70, 80K, that'd still be a monster number. It's like the 100K is anomaly, right? Like, so I'm not going to say that it's like, oh, the book has crashed. It's like, it's still a monster number. It's a 9.8, but off center. Yeah, it could be. You can see the cut a little more white down here than up here. So that could hurt it. There's always aesthetics that can hurt these types of books. But one that I wanted to have my eyes on, an Iron Man 55 9.8, maybe not as interesting of a story. What were some other ones here? You had a first Aquaman, which is kind of cool. First Green Arrow, speaking of Green Arrow, restored book. Could be cool, a fun one to watch. What were some of the other ones here? Punch Comics right here, number 12, the Gus Rica cover in a 1.5. And this is also going to be a monster book. And again, it's a get in the club purchase. Even at the 1.5, $6,700. This is another book that got extremely hot recently. More hot. I mean, people were going crazy for this thing. So it'll be interesting to see how this one factors in. A lot of chips on this, but not in the worst spots, all on the edges. But I know some people really don't like this stuff. When you have an all black cover, like the color breaks really, really show up quite a bit. But I still think this is going to go for a lot of money. 3 more books here that are interesting. Of course, Soup #1. Once again, wouldn't be a auction without a Superman #1, once again. But another, obviously, big boy book. It's going to go up for sale. TMNT, #1 in a 9.8. Shout out to Drew, Coma Comics. Here you go. First print, 105,000. Current bid. This is one that I think is like the Hero for Hire, might take a little bit of a haircut here with the sales, because what did the last 9.8 go for? Last 9.8s went for 156. All-time record was 264. Now we have 35 on the census, so there's a lot more, but this has been one that has been slowly coming down, right? Went from 52 to 230, then to 264, then 192, then 186, then 156. Currently we're at 105. I suspect this will go lower than 156. That would be my guess. Book probably just shot up way too fast. Way too fast for this one. So another one to keep our eyes on for this for sure. And what was the last book I had pulled up here that I want to talk about? Oh, yeah. Fun one. Do big auction buyers care about Taylor Swift? I thought that would be a kind of a fun one to end on. Only 270 right now, guys. Feels like a good opportunity for somebody that wants to get a Taylor Swift first Dazzler 9.8. I mean, either way, I mean, it's an all black cover. 9.8s are tough in this book. You know, it was only about 7% of the census. There's a lot of copies out there, but only 7% actually can hit that 9.8 level. So still a tough book, still a tough book, even though it is, basically end of Bronze Age, Copper Age book. Second appearance of Wonder Woman, first cover appearance, first sort of ongoing series for her. So this is kind of like her equivalent of Batman 1 or Superman 1. If this was the cover for the All-Star Comics 40 something, her actual first appearance, I mean, imagine what that All-Star Comics would go for. This is such a cooler cover than that one for Wonder Woman. This is probably the one that, again, I suspect this should sell pretty big. More comps here. A 701 for 90, 651 for 84, 601 for 86. Currently sitting at 33. So it's got a long way to go. It's got a long way to go. I think under 80 might be a little disappointing for this one. But we will see. We will definitely see if it can get there. The thing about Sensation #1 is that, again, more books on the census, or this is one like Soup 1, like Batman 1, while it's nowhere near common, it's extremely rare, only 74 universals. You just see these ones come up. You see them go up for sale. Like you can see right here in this calendar year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which compared to some of the other like LB Cole things that we were looking at, I mean, there's like nothing, that is in that last sale. So the options are there for people that want to pick them up. Again, we've been talking about Batman #1. I feel like as far as Batman 1 getting in the club books are concerned, it's a really good opportunity for someone. It's a 2.5 restored C1, but small amount of color touch, tear sealed, small amount of glue in the cover. You can remove this stuff probably. I'm assuming. Don't quote me on that. But could be a good opportunity for someone to get in on this one for sure. You got a Cap Comics #2. Again, another Promise Collection one. This cover was done by Joe Simon. Again, not as dialed of a Captain America as I like, but again, amazing cover. Another Hitler one right there. Very, very cool. I'm sure that this one currently sitting at 5,900. I mean, this could be a really good steal actually for somebody, but a great book. Here's that Captain America Weird Tales #74. This is when they started to go over to the PCH style. Beautiful. Maybe beautiful is the wrong word. Awesome, badass Cap cover that kind of has them crossing over into PCH. This one's going to be another monster at the $6,000 range.